How important is it for you to have a space to go to and meet other men just to have a chat?
Well, I guarantee if you ask my wife now, she'd say it was fabulous.
When you retire, generally, you all of a sudden lose a lot of your social network.
I've got to know a lot more people, and I look forward to coming down here.
We talk, we laugh, we joke, and we carry on like teenagers again, you know. So that's what it's all about.
When I leave here, I go home and get a little bit depressed because all you see is 4 grey walls, and you say you've got to have a talk to somebody, you know.
And yes, you come and you have a coffee and you have a talk and things like that. And various sheds have various different groups, as in car groups or computer groups or woodworking groups. And it depends what the individual is sort of interested in, what they lock into. But it gives you a network back. And it's been very, very good for me. Couldn't do it otherwise.
Mate,
Sorry.
no, not at all. Not at all, mate. Mate, you've been unwell. You're battling cancer, and the men of 20 and 30 years ago just didn't communicate. I don't think it was accepted that men were allowed to shed a tear, which in my family we do. That has to change, doesn't it? Men do need to be able to go into a space, a cave, anywhere, and be able to communicate openly with other men.
You need that support within it. I mean, we, apart from that, which I really don't like to dwell on. We do a lot of positive things here, and we have a laugh and we take the mickey out of one another and stuff, and it's just good blokey stuff, you know.
Very good, mate. Very good. Shane Jacobson there with Back in My Day. Great story, mate. That's absolutely beautiful piece there. It's so important.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's interesting hearing him say at the end there, which is what I felt on the day. And I have to start by saying Men Share the organisation are just wonderful. And for that reason that these gentlemen have somewhere to go. But at the end, you know, to be honest, we joked about it when we were talking about making this show, that there's this feeling that a man space, a man cave, when we use terms like a blokey space to go. But there's the proof that, in fact, you know, what it is an opportunity for men, and especially in their case, to go and chat. And a lot of those guys, and I learnt more about that organisation than I knew before I went there. Yeah. I went there knowing very little, and I've come away knowing a lot. And it's invaluable. And what it is, it's, you know, we've said the word a lot tonight, camaraderie and having a chat, but it's time for men to talk, and that gives them an opportunity or a place for that to happen.
Yeah, now we've got a couple of experts in this field. We've got Nikki Isaacs along, who is a psychologist as well. Thank you so much for joining us on the show here tonight. Really appreciate that. And the big man, Glenn Manton, former superstar for Carlton and Essendon. Thanks so much for coming along, mate. This is close to your heart as well, though, mate. That camaraderie and all that kind of gear is very important in footy as well, and you would lose a bit of that when you retire.
Well, you would think you could lose it, but that is your choice to lose it. I think it's really important for men to stay connected to other men and also stay connected to the community, and that's something that's, I think, a choice you make. And if you choose to slip into the shadows, it's easily a space that can encompass you and really draw you down. I think it's a really important aspect of men's lives that they find other men that they can relate to and work with, whether it's around woodworking, whether it's around music or sports. You need to have those people to share life with.
Glenn, you're involved in a great charity as well called White Lion. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, that's more looking at a youth space, but I think it's a preparatory space for young men to be able to get into a habit of being able to refer to their feelings and find people to speak with. And that could be a male outlet, that could be a female outlet, but I think young people in particular need to know where they can source support, particularly when they're going through troubled times.
Nikki, what do you recommend for people who are feeling lonely, who want just people to talk with, basically? What do you tell them to do?
I think actually talking, I think just that word we've used, talking, is an excellent start, because talking about feelings is so beneficial on numerous levels. If you talk to others about your feelings, then you're opening up to them, and what you're doing there is you are opening yourself up to more meaningful and intimate relationships. And meaningful and intimate relationships are one of the greatest predictors of happiness. So you're making yourself happy by doing that. And just what comes with that is the social support that you can get from being in a community like you're talking about, and talking to others and sharing feelings can make you feel supported, whether you're enduring adversity, so if you're going through grief or trauma, or whether you're just experiencing the stress that we all know too well talking about it and being supported by others can help you cope so much better.
It sort of isn't socially acceptable for men to cry. You certainly can't be seen to cry in front of your mates. Why, from a psychological standpoint, what's that all about?
Yeah, well, that's been more the case in previous generations, where there was a reluctance and avoidance, largely, for men to talk about their feelings and to cry, because there was this misconception that it was a sign of weakness, of vulnerability, that you weren't manly if you cried, or you weren't manly if you talked about your feelings. And that is changing. There's been quite a social and cultural shift recently, but I think you guys have got a long way to go with this.
Absolutely. Shane, you've got kids. I mean, that's what you'd be trying to instill as well in your boys, to just, it's okay to cry, it's okay to talk, discuss your emotions, all that kind of
absolutely, mate. Look, I was blessed with the fact that my parents and my dad and my stepfather, I was allowed to have conversations with them, and it was okay to cry. And, I was that guy that still kissed my dad on the lips at school if he dropped me off and said, I love you, Dad, in front of mates. And they'd say to me, you just kissed your dad. And I go, yeah, absolutely. And if you don't, I think that's weird, because I'm blessed.
Gorgeous.
So that, but my dad kind of instilled that into us. And we do have a very open relationship as far as being able to hug and say, in my family. So I want to pass that on. And I think that's one of those things that it actually suggests, and if not, makes it feel very normal, that in fact that men should be able to engage with men in an emotional way. And like I say,
and in a lot of cultures, that physical contact between men is the norm.
Well, that's right.
And it's really healthy and it's fantastic.
We've actually got a rule in my family that if I'm denied a kiss, I've told the boys in particular that I will chase them down, I will tackle them, I'll pin them to the ground and pash the hell out of them. And that has happened in aisle 5 at the Williamstown Coles. So that has actually happened.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. Shane, Nikki, Glenn, make it good. Welcome, guys. Good chat. Do not go anywhere, though. Thanks so much for that. But you guys stay planted right there, because up next, I've got what I like to call a man hack. It's a way to hack your life. I'm going to change your life in 30 seconds. I've been doing it all serious. I've got a brilliant one for you next. No, I got it. Before I let you all go, a little thing I like to call a man hack. It's a way to hack your life, improve your life out of sight, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Now, if we popped your shoes off, the three of you, obviously Nikki's would smell like a perfume factory, but you two lads, what do you reckon we'd cop?
I think the smell of roses.
Okay, that's you covered. The smell of my feet would kill a brown dog.
Excellent. I've got a tip for you, Shane Jacobson. What you do is, I did this a little bit earlier. See, they are rotten. So get yourself a Glad bag, chuck them in, zip her up.
And burn them. No?
No, that's the permanent solution. What you can do...
In the freezer?
Bung them in the freezer, mate. Apparently it kills off all the bacteria. Now, I haven't tested this. It just demolishes it, right? So I've got the shoes here. Thanks, Johnny, for letting me have those in the freezer for 2 weeks, by the way. Just pop them out.
Oh, why me?
Do we all get a go?
It's not going to be Nikki. I respect Glenn too much.
What? Is this the
Have a
nose that knows, is it?
Have a sniff.
That's actually all right. There's no smell at all.
Hey!
Impressive.
I take your word for it. I take your word for it.
There you go. 24 hours in the freezer.
Neutral.
There you go. Beautiful.
Maybe I better have a go.
Oh, you can't have a whiff. Smell me
all the
shoe,
rage.
mate.
Oh, it's lovely.
I've got one of these for you each as well. You can
Thank
bung them in
you.
there. And before I let you go,
Thank you.
we've actually got Des Dowling over in John G's kitchen right now. Desi, can you see me, mate? Give us a wave. There you are. A few of the boys around the joint, the crew, they sort of thought they'd jump on board too. So sorry about that, John. We've sort of got 50 packs of shoots in there for you, mate.